G'day legends, and because of a very relevant topic in the news cycle, I have decided to do a fighters that absolutely love fighting tier list. It isn't because we're in the dead center of a UFC drought between events. It's got nothing to do with that at all. It isn't because I promised you guys a video every single day of the week and I've made a video about every single news topic and I'm not going to keep talking about the Raj Jackson thing every single time someone new says a bloody sentence. Okay? It's because very specifically, Brian Battle is going to be fighting this weekend at Dirty Boxing. That'll do. Brian Battle's fighting. Did you know? And Tony Ferguson and Luke Rockhold, these guys, even though their careers are well and truly over, they just love fighting. And because of that absolute tether of a segue, we're going to do a tier list today of fighters that just absolutely love to fight. Hey, isn't this a good one? And I've thought of this completely on my own. There wasn't some person in chat that in the live streams that said once, hey, Dougie, you should do a tier list on this. And then I wrote it down, but I forgot to write down whose name it was that said it. This is a 100% original thought and original idea. Once again, my own genius knows absolutely no bounds. Another Dougie Hood classic coming up. Right, in the F tier, we have got the Whiny Warriors. These guys will have a bloody scrap, but they're going to piss and sook and whinge about it. I think you know who we're going to be talking about there. Then we've got the part-time punch enjoyers. They don't mind throwing a scrap, but they do it, begrudgingly. Then we got the Brawls for the lols. That's these boys that, you needed a funny name for C tier there. So that's what I did. Scrappy Happy. These guys are happy to have a bloody scrap with anybody. These are the ones that are spending their times down at the pubs, no matter what, getting into fist fights. Then you've got the fisting fanatics. Not the ones that, a lot of lube and seeing how far you can get it in. Not that kind of fisting. Fists, as in the fighting term. I know that you gooners out there have just disgusting minds. So when I say fisting, I don't mean fisting. I mean fighting with fists. And then you've got the murdering marauders, man. The elite of the elite. The S tier of the S tier. Right, let's get into it. I've got a notes page here. Let me do my notes page a little bit half and half so I can see the screen and the notes. And let's bloody get into it, mate. And I'm going to kick it off with Ian Garry. I'm going to put Ian Garry in a sort of low B tier area. When I was first thinking of this tier list and getting my names together, I actually had Ian Garry in the A tier because he was fighting so often, so bloody often, and it was obvious that he was willing to get himself into scraps. Like, nowadays, I don't think too many people will be wanting an MVP fight. But Gary was like, no, I'll take an MVP fight, no worries. But even in the MVP fight, he wasn't exactly like going to war with MVP. He was thinking calculated about it. You know what I mean? So it's not so much that Ian Garry loves to fight and feel the blood and actually get into a war, but he's happy to fight often. At least he's not like a Colby Covington who is just doing everything he can in life to avoid combat sports. And I was thinking, Ian Garry is the kind of guy that is happy to fight anybody. However, it has come out that Ian Garry has been ducking Sean Brady. So Ian Garry, he'll be down to brawl, but I don't know if he's scrappy happy anymore. I think Ian Garry, I might actually drop Ian Garry down to the C tier because it is now new information that Ian Garry is actually ducking fights, which is disappointing to me because I didn't think Ian Garry was a ducker, I thought he was a man that enjoyed watching his wife get plowed by the in-house chef. Yeah, I thought he was the kind of man that enjoyed being vegan when you're in a testosterone-fueled sport. I thought he was the kind of man that, when his wife locks him out of the house and she's still in there with the chef, he'll go down the street and buy some roses and serenade to her on the front porch. I thought a lot of horrible things about Ian Garry, but the one thing that I thought about Ian Garry is that at least he'll fight anybody. But that also is not true anymore. He will not fight Sean Brady, the grappler, the heavier grappler than him. That is what it is. Next one is Kai Asakura, and he is absolutely going into fisting fanatics. I have got to say that after we had Walker versus Zhang fight night, All of the Chinese seem to have this. Is Kaya Sakura Chinese or Japanese? Oh, light racism. Let's continue on. All of the blokes from this side of the planet, what a save. All of the guys from this side of the planet seem to love just standing in the pocket and scrapping. It's absolute madness. And Kaya Sakura is exactly the same. Exactly the same. And you can tell because he has had a phenomenal amount of success in his career outside of the UFC. But now that he's in the UFC, zero ground game. Zero ground game. So that goes to show that all of this success that he's had outside of the UFC genuinely comes from the fact that he wants to just stand and bang with people. And I absolutely love that. And so does everyone from that oriental side of the planet. What is he? Is he Chinese? He's probably Japanese. Or is he? Doesn't matter. Move on. Tom Aspinall, he is going all the way down here in part-time punch and joys. Look, Tom Aspinall has been doing combat sports since he was a boy, but he gives off that vibe of like, you know, this is me job. I only do it because it's me job. I gotta provide for my family. It's nothing personal, John. I just want to beat ya. Tom Aspinall literally lives his life like, this is a sport. I don't want to hurt anybody. If he ever needed to ground and pound an opponent, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't be. He's too nice for it. Tom Aspinall's too bloody nice and kind-hearted for this. Brian Battle. He's almost a murdering marauder. You know, he's almost a murdering marauder. Let me talk about Brian Battle for a minute. Brian Battle can be such a savage. He can be such a savage that when he goes to Paris, it's not enough that he just gets into the fight that he's contracted to get into. He wants to get into a fight with the entire goddamn arena. He'll be in a 20-person arena and just getting them all to hype up. Brian Battle has recently been cut from the UFC, and a week later, he's already signed up with a completely new organization where there is no grappling, and it's just about getting into scraps. You can even do elbows and fight dirty inside the pocket in the clinch, the Dirty Boxing League or promotion or whatever the final word there is on the moniker. However, the one thing that holds Brian Battle back from being a murdering marauder is in the cage, he can be a little bit bitch-made when the fight doesn't start to go his way. How can you say that? You're just some dude on a computer. I know, shut up. But in the cage, if the fight's not going his way, Brian Battle loves a smudge. He does. He does. You know it. I know it. We know it. Brian Battle, if it's not going his way, he does love a smudge. And I can't put someone who loves a smudge in the S tier. You know, when things are going his way, man, he is down for war. The second there is a modicum of resistance, it's time to clunge. It's time to clinch up and push them against the cage. I tried to say two words at once. And because of that, I've got to put him in scrappy happy. He's happy when it's scrappy in his own direction. Such a Lucas Tracy. It's such a Lucas Tracy thing. I got to put him in scrappy happy. He's happy. He's happy when he's scrappy and it's going in his direction. But if it's not going in his direction, he will be in fucking tears, mate. Morgan Charrier. What do you say about Morgan Charrier, the last pirate, the French pirates? Isn't it? He's the last pirate. He's the last pirate. It's not the guy with one eye. He's just the pirate. Morgan Charrier, the last pirate. I'll tell you what. Usually I would put Morgan Charrier all the way down here in Whiny Warrior. This is what I would usually do, but for many, many reasons. Number one, he's very active on social media, and I know the irony in this on someone making a piece of content on social media, but young men who enjoy social media, they're just bloody soft, you know what I mean? Too much time behind a computer screen. I am a tradesman, completely different. And the second reason, he's French. And as we know, the French have no warriors left. They all chopped their heads off. But that last fight that Morgan Charrier was in, I tell you what, he bit down on his mouth guard and he proved that if I need to win the fight, fuck it. I'm going to bite down on my mouth guard. I'm going to wade into the war. Now, you do lose a point. Could be A tier, but you do lose a point because you are French. And French people just cannot be A tier warriors. That is for the Japanese, maybe Chinese, maybe South Korean. Don't bother to Google it. I could, but who cares? So, Morgan Charrier. And the fact that when the fight isn't going your way, you're willing to scrap, and Brian Battle isn't willing to scrap means you're ahead of Brian Battle. You know what? Fuck it. You're the one French person that ever can even think about being an A tier. Well done, Morgan Chatier. You get to go in A tier because that was actually really, really impressive, your last performance. Was it against Nate the Train? I think it was. I think it was Morgan Chatier versus Nate the Train. And that third round, Chatier needed to bite down the mouthguard and go for it. I'm going to check. It was against Nate the Train. Ha! I'm not the casual. You're the casual. You didn't know that. You're the casual. Oh, Nate the Train's right there in front of me. Speaking of Nate the Train... Nate the Train is going in an A tier. Nate the Train, I honestly think he would fight for free at an IHOP. Honestly, Nate the Train, if he was at the Greyhound bus station and someone just flicked a quarter onto the ground, Nate the Train would happily get into a fist fight over it. Nate the Train is one of the most exhilarating and exciting human beings to ever walk the planet. I ain't losing, I'm probably going to win. Nate is... He just moves forward, mate, and he has just zero care or strategy or want to protect his own brain matter. I love the Nate the Train experience. I love Nate the Train being in the UFC. I love him so much, and he will fight anyone over anything. Over anything at all, it does not matter. Nate the Train gets annoyed when he goes out for the night and there isn't a punch on. Oh, God. Next one up, let's do Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis is the whiny warrior. He wants every single fight to be the exact same fights that he has every single day at his gym, where it is a basic sparring boxing match. That's it. That's it. It's got to be you stand there, I'll stand here, at the exact same range, circling around each other, not dancing around each other, not separating at all. No flowy Ian Gary striking. No, he'll crash out if you do that. We both stand on the Monster Energy logo, and we circle it, and we throw 1-2s at each other. And if you do anything other than that, I will start crashing out, says Chris Curtis, the whiny warrior. Now, this is why he's down an F tier, because he loves that kind of a fight. You stand there and you give it to him boxing range, Chris Curtis couldn't be happier. He's like a pig in shit. But the second you move off the Monster Energy logo and he's got to do any sort of footwork, he completely crumbles. And it's hilarious to watch. I love it. Ion Cutelaba. Oh, God, what a man. Everyone just shut up. Everyone shut up. Stop writing comments and just look at that man. What a Chad. What an absolute Chad. Absolute Chad. And Cutelaba, obviously, goes in the Murdering Marauders. I actually heard that there was one single day of Kutalaba's career where he didn't get into a fight, and he actually had a heart attack, and they had to rush a defibrillator to him. And the moment that he regained consciousness after the defibrillator went and woke him back up to life, he instantly slammed the man who returned him to this awful plane of existence, because Ion Cutelaba thought that he was going to the pearly gates of Valhalla. If he is not in a fight, he will die. He lives off fighting. Fish need water. Humans need air. Birds need worms. And Ion Cutelaba needs fighting to survive. And this is the way that it is. Next one is Nicholas Dalby. All bloody war. All bloody war. I'm going to put him in B tier. Nicholas Dalby. He was born several centuries too late. He honestly believes that he has a chance of getting into Valhalla, and he's going to continue on every single day until he gets there, and he's an absolute joy to watch. Jack Della Maddalena. He's another bloody A tier. The stories that I have heard come out of Perth. Friday, Saturday, footy on a Thursday. The stories that I've heard come out of Perth. Jack Della Maddalena goes into the pub, gets a beer, and then instantly leaves the pub and just sort of walks around the car park, just looking for cunts to keep pinging. This video's not getting monetized now. God damn it, American YouTube. I swear to Christ. Cannot let an Australian be an Australian. But JDM lives and breathes the fight game. He doesn't, that's a bit, I shouldn't have said that. We've seen JDM's notes. He doesn't breathe the fight game, but he certainly lives the fight game. Maybe not to the point of Ion Cutelaba, because as you can see, JDM's face has not been able to take the sheer damage that absolute chads and monsters like Ion Cutelaba and Nate the Train can take, but he is certainly up there. In fact, I'm going to put JDM all the way up there because JDM has actually learned how to get up, unlike Kaya Sakura, the maybe Japanese, South Korean, or Chinese person. He has actually learned how to get up so he can continue to stay in the fight, which puts him even higher. Whereas Kaya Sakura, the maybe Chinese, Japanese, or South Korean person, the moment the fight's on the ground, he just taps out easily. Which actually means that Morgan Chatier goes in there as well. Well done, French people. Look at you go, the French person who's watching MMA. You've got one fan out there, France. That's all right. Loud fan, though. So, yeah, JDM will do everything he can to keep himself in the fight. I've done this right. Drew Dober. He's in the brawls for the lols. Drew Dober. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to put Drew Dober as a part-time punch enjoyer because Drew Dober is much like Tom Aspinall in a different way, but similar. Tom Aspinall does this as a job because it's sport. I just want to provide for my family, you know? Drew Dober also does this as a job, but he's more doing it as what he sees as a community service. You know, Drew Dober sees what happened in the world in Europe between 1939 and 1944 as a great tragedy and wants to right the wrongs of history in his own personal mental space. So much like Tom Aspinall is just trying to put food on his table, Drew Dober is just trying to single-handedly lower the crime rate in Chicago. It's just a job to him. I don't know if Drew Dober's enjoying it, but Drew Dober is just someone's got to do it, you know? No one else is going to do it, so I've got to do it. And Drew Dober's just taking it on his own accord. Oh, I'm going to get cancelled. Right, Drickus Duplessis. I'm going to get cancelled. Doesn't matter. Drickus Duplessis. I think I did the Drew Dober joke. All right. What am I doing? I loves to fight. He bloody loves to fight. Drickus is brawling for the lols. Mate, I didn't even know what my bloody plan is. You know, they think they look at all their tape. They're trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Go and pop another pill in me drink, mate. Let's see what happens. Me and Hamzat Chimaev, you will not understand the rage. I'll be back. And I'll be better than ever. 11 weeks of training camp is all. I never thought that he'd actually take me down. I said I'd been training to get back up. I never said that I'd actually be trained on getting down in the first place. They're completely different things. Let's just have a go and see what happens. Oh, through that one. That one didn't work. Let's see what happens next. He is the brawl for the lols. Yeah. No game plan. Let's just go in there and figure it out and have a good time. That's Drickus Duplessis, mate. Next one up. The troll himself. Someone's cracked open another bridge. Underneath it is Josh Emmett. Oh my god. You know what? I'm going to put Josh Emmett in Murdering Marauders. I'm going to put him up there. He is not... Maybe... you know what? Actually, down in Scrappy Happy. Because these guys, if they're not fighting, they will die. Where Josh Emmett, he's more just... When he is released back into normal society... Josh Emmett will get instantly into a fight, and he'll stay in the fight. Even if he is being 10-7'd every single round by Elliot Tapuria, doesn't matter. Josh Emmett's going to stay into the fight. But when Josh Emmett isn't in the fight, he is quite happy to return to under the bridge in which he came from and just wait in silence as poor Eastern European tourists pass over him. And Josh Emmett is just sitting under the bridge, waiting to hear about the next fight night card announcement. And then the second that he hears about a fight night card announcement... Josh Emmett is released, and he's back in the Apex, ready to fuck someone else up. Yeah, that was good. Bobby Green! Bobby Green's the next one up. You got to put Bobby Green in. He loves fight. There's only two things in this world that Bobby Green loves. One of them is being a black man. He loves it. He absolutely loves it, and he wants you to know that he loves it. Changing his name to King Green, wearing... whatever the fuck he's wearing, like it's a 2007 Ali G movie, you know, and being in fights. That's it. Bobby Green, it's being in fights and being black, and that is Bobby Green. And even though Jarlin Turner did nearly kill him, and even though he's been slept ruthlessly by Ruffy, that even though his chin is just glass, absolute shattered glass and dust, he just keeps being black and being in fights. He loves it. He loves being a professional athlete and being black and letting you know that he knows that he loves being black. And we love him for that. And Bobby Green, you are going in the S tier for that, mate. Next one is Kevin Holland. He's a whiny warrior. Kevin Holland is an absolute whiny warrior. I mean, does this even need explaining? Kevin Holland will literally crash out in the middle of the fight if the fight's not going his direction. He will just sit on bottom position and just sook about how he's bored. How he needs to make light conversation during the fight because it's not going his direction. Kevin Holland's a fucking sook. He's a whiny warrior, but he loves Like Chris Curtis, when it's going his way, he couldn't be happier. But the second it's not going his way, it's, oh man, like I'm 45-70. Oh, you're going to hold me down? Oh, now I'm in my ego. What do you mean? I know judo and I know jujitsu, so I could create scrambles and to get back up? No, I'm just going to sit down here. You're going to hold me in here for 45, 70 minutes? Now I'm in my ego. Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker. You all need to move. Get the fuck out of the way. This dude broke his hand, so he started fights in his own backyard, and then the government told him off, and he told them to go fuck themselves. Dan Hooker. It's Dan fucking Hooker. Listen, I don't need to elaborate. If you don't know why Dan Hooker goes there, click off this video and keep watching MMA. Maybe you will learn. Dan Hooker goes there for obvious and self-evident reasons. Jon Jones is next. The biggest whiny warrior in our entire community. You all get to sit behind there. Jon Jones is the biggest whiny warrior in our entire community. The UFC literally said yes to $30 million and 6 months off, and you bitched and sooked about it to no fucking end. Fuck you, Jon Jones. Terrence McKinney! God bless you, Terrence McKinney. God bless you, you wonderful bastard. Oh! He doesn't sook about it. You got to give Terrence McKinney that. He does not sook about it. Terrence McKinney goes out there round one, and I swear to God, when Terrence McKinney starts his walkout, this is what he does. He flips a coin. Heads, I'm just going to keep swinging until I get knocked out. Tails, I'm just going to run at you chin first and see what happens, and maybe you'll tire yourself out. Terrence McKinney is a coin flip. I hate it when Terrence McKinney comes up on the roster because we have to make our picks. And what do you say? It does not matter what the matchup is. It doesn't matter who he's fighting. It's a coin flip. And he loves it. And it makes him happy in life. It's wonderful to see. Wonderful to see. The Iron Turtle, he's up here. There's only two things the Iron Turtle loves. He is South Korean. I know that for a fact. And the Iron Turtle, beer and punch-ups. He did one English-speaking interview where he wasn't even speaking English. His translator was. And the entire thing was just him talking about beer and punch-ups. It's great stuff. I love the Iron Turtle. Love him. Love him. Charles Radke, he's going down here in Whiny Warrior. I really enjoy Charles Radke. I enjoy his style. I enjoy his passion. But him at the press what have I done? Him at a press conference, if he isn't getting his way, if he isn't getting like him being put into Whiny Warrior here, if he ever sees this video, I know it's crazy to assume he might see this video. He probably won't, but Joe Piper's watched my videos. G'day, Joe. How you going? How's your stomach feeling? Jamal Hill's watched my videos before. How are you, Jamal? How you going, brother? They've watched my videos before. Maybe there's a chance Charles Radke will see this. And the fact that I've put him in F tier, I know is going to make him spiral out and crash out in rage. He's probably hitting his wife right now. He's that fucking angry that I've put him in F tier. And that's why you belong in F tier. That's why you belong there. Because Radke will crash out at the fucking drop of a hat. It's so... Him and Chris Curtis are like identical human beings. It's so good to see, man. Oh, man. Chaos Williams, he's a whirlwind of pain. He is going in the brawls for the lols. He is just a whirlwind of pain. I love Chaos Williams. And finally, the last one, Max Bloody Holloway. Max Holloway loves to fight. Night time, baby. We'll find out that night. The best is blessed, baby. And the best is blessed. We're going to find out that night. I'm getting CTE every day. Every day my CTE is getting worse. How do you not put him in the top next to Dan Hooker? Honest to God, how do you not put Max Holloway right next to Dan Hooker? Everyone in the UFC at this point has tried to do the Max Holloway 10-second point down. And everyone has fucked it up. They all start to swing, and then they all slow down because they realize just how fucking psychotic and dangerous it is. But Max is just, he leans into it. Max is like, yeah, we're going out, dude. We're going out. And even in fights that he's winning, like clearly winning, like he clearly beat Justin, and he's like, go on, Justin, have a crack. And then everyone's like, well, he did it because Justin Gaethje had just done the Rolling Thunder, and his nose was broken, and, you know, it was easy for him to do it. So then he kind of carries Dustin and gives Dustin, like, they are looking at the clock as the minute countdown is happening. So they essentially give themselves a little bit of a light sparring match just to refuel and catch their breath, leading down to the last 10 seconds. He has beaten Dustin from pillar to fucking post every single round. And Max goes, all right, let's give Dustin Poirier a crack at this and see how this turns out. And even Dustin backs up out of it. Max is a fucking psycho. He's a psycho. He's a psycho. And he and Dan Hooker, God, I want to see Max Holloway versus Dan Hooker. Oh my fucking God. Oh, I can only get so fucking hard. All right, that's enough. I'm actually going to... Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep. Do it. UFC, do it. Violence. Give me violence. I want violence. Give me this violence. What? Look at this tier list. Is this not the greatest set of faces, except for John Jones, you have ever seen? They're all going to get into scraps. Even John Jones will get into a scrap. You know, that's why I'm sorry to harp on about this. This video has been a little bit too long, whatever. But even John Jones, you know, in the Gustafsson fight and the Dominic Reyes fight, and when DC's pushing him, yeah, John Jones is going to bitch about fighting Tom Aspinall. But the dude hates losing. He hates it. And he'll put his fingers out there, and he'll oblique kick, and he will drag you to hell if you're going to try and take his belt off him. Look at that. I said something nice about John Jones. What a wonderful video this has been. Everyone's had something good happen. Everyone's had their moment, except for Ian Gary. I really laid it on to Ian Gary and Kaya Sakura. But, you know, who knows where he's from. One of them regions. That's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. If this is your first time here, g'day and welcome. My name is Dougie. I make an MMA video every day of the week, and I go live all the bloody time. A 5.5 hour banger yesterday, just because I felt like it. It was great. So like the subscribe and hit the notification bell to know when I drop a new video. Like this video if you like this video. Let me know about my tier list down there in the comments. Thought it was a good one. And all the bloody legends on the channel who are always commenting, subscribing, living in the comment section on the live streams every single day, donating, buying memberships, gifting memberships. Bro Joey, good for you. Gifting memberships, all that good stuff. Your names are up on the next slide, and the top 10 best pickers, fight pickers in the Dougie's Corner live stream community. Your names are up on the next slide as well. Well done. You guys are going to hold your place for 2 weeks in a row by buddy default. That's it. You guys have yourselves a good day. I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.